What's up YouTube, I'm Mike, and today I'm going to shoot a quick video because honestly I have gotten tired of pacing around my neighborhood this evening. Yesterday I made a video saying that I was going to start transitioning from my cruise into my blast, that I'd been feeling a lot of kind of depression, or not so much depression, just I'd kind of lost my meaning in life. I couldn't find any real enjoyment in anything, nothing was really making sense, and so I felt like it was time to get back on blast again, and I added 20 milligrams of Tbol to my regimen. To my cruise, and immediately yesterday, if you watched the previous video, you'll know that I reported that I just was feeling a tremendous amount of happiness, giddiness, just bouncing around the house. At one point in the day, my wife asked me if my cheeks were hurting because I just couldn't stop smiling. And so just had a really amazing day yesterday. We went and got a leg workout in, and things psychologically started to feel better. One of the things that's been so strange for me over the course of the last few years since I started bodybuilding is that for whatever reason, I have always just kind of struggled to find meaning in life. I talked about that in a video a couple of days ago. You know, I've just never been terribly motivated to be like, to conquer the business world or to invent some, you know, miracle drug cure or whatever. Like when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in the world, just nothing really excited me. And for whatever reason, as stupid as this may seem, bodybuilding was just something that I've been interested in since I was a kid. And when I started blasting and cruising, I found that it imparted a meaning to my life in a state that was otherwise meaningless. You know, I mean, if you're not into bodybuilding, you just eat to survive, or you know, you eat because you just enjoy eating. You know, you eat, you go to sleep, you go to work, and you just kind of go through the motions of life. When you start bodybuilding, at least for me, when I started bodybuilding, all of a sudden it felt like every single thing that I did during the day had meaning. Every meal that I ate had meaning. Or on a cut, every meal that I didn't have had meaning. Every single workout felt meaningful because I knew I had a body full of androgens that were going to help me convert those sets and reps into muscle. And that's something very different than being a natural. You can work out for years and years and years and see very little progress. When you go on a steroid blast, you know you're about to transform your body in a very short period of time, and it kind of turns up the volume on everything in your life. And that makes everything feel meaningful. Every bite of food, you know, is productive. Every hour of sleep is productive. One of my favorite things about being on blast and killing it in the gym is if I feel tired and I want to take a nap, I don't feel like I'm being a lazy loser. I feel like I'm being productive because I know while I'm sleeping, I'm growing, that I'm giving my body the chance to rest and repair, and even that nap is valuable. Every set, every single thing you do in your day has meaning. And when you come off cycle and you recognize that you're going to stop growing, you're going to stop making gains, and that you have to rest and recover, and that's a necessary part of the process, but suddenly all those little things don't feel as meaningful. And so already 2 days into Tbol, and all of that meaning has come back. I'm out there walking laps around the fucking neighborhood because, as I said yesterday, I had all of this happiness that came on board when the Tbol kicked in, and I still feel good and upbeat today, but what's really replaced the happiness is just an uncontrollable amount of intensity, guys. Like, I'm having trouble sitting fucking still. One of the people in the comments suggested that maybe there was like, that my Tbol had some adulterant in it, like there was MDMA or fucking meth or something. This stuff amps me up so much that I would actually be open to agreeing with that if not for the fact that I'm actually I'm hungrier than I was before. And back in my days of doing street drugs, any kind of upper and my fucking appetite is in the toilet. And so I think for whatever reason, this is just the way my body reacts to Tbol. It's not terribly different than the way my body reacted to D-ball. In fact, D-ball gave me such a level of intensity that was almost uncomfortable. There was a couple of times in my very short D-ball cycle where I had taken my dose, I'd gone to the gym, I felt like fucking Superman. I came home trying to eat a meal and I just could not, like I couldn't control the intensity. I felt this constant urge to move. And that's not totally different than what I experience on Tren. When I get my Tren dose up there, there's often nights where I struggle to sleep and I'm laying in bed like, fuck it, I'm gonna get up and go to the gym and just get in another workout. So this evening I was trying to play video games. I was trying to kick back. I don't know if you guys can hear all that racket in the other room. I apologize for all that noise. I tried to just kick back and chill this evening because my wife and I are honestly not getting along today, and try to play a video game, and I just couldn't focus on the game. So I've been out just walking laps, cramming down food, and really just mentally preparing for what's coming next. So there you have it. Just want to make a quick video. A couple people said they really enjoyed the day-to-day videos, trying to keep the content flowing. Like I said, trying to move the channel, not in a different direction, but just get it going a little bit more. There was a period of time, the majority of the time I've been doing this, I'm average one video a week, and I guess I've kind of gotten comfortable talking to the camera to the point that I don't know, it almost feels like you guys are my confessors, like instead of going to church and or talking to a therapist about what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, I can just sit here in front of this camera and spill it off for you guys and then read the comments and maybe we all get something out of it. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching and the feedback and the user experiences. I've seen some really great comments in the last couple days. I may make a video about a couple of them. One guy said something, and I should have looked at the username before I even made this video, but it just fucking popped in, that just really resonated with me. So I think I'm going to close with that. He said, the day you start lifting is the day that you become small forever. I think that's the way it went. And basically the point he was making is the day you start bodybuilding is the day that you realize you're never going to be as big as you want to be. Like, I don't think I've ever met the guy in the gym who said to me, you know what, I don't want to gain any more muscle. Like, I've achieved all my goals. I'm as big as I want to be. I don't ever want to get leaner, cutter, more vascular. We always are looking for more. And that's an unfortunate fact about bodybuilding. Like, I'm in the best condition I have ever been in my life by a long shot. And the majority of the time, I can't even enjoy it because the body dysmorphia or the insecurity, I can feel super good about my physique and then I can walk into the gym and I can see a guy that's 30 pounds bigger than me, fucking diced to the socks, and it's like, fuck, do I even lift? Like I'm looking at him, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going home. And that's a travesty because I should be feeling so good and so confident about the way I look. But there's always someone out there that's bigger, leaner, harder, whatever, and it makes it difficult to enjoy. The other thing that happens, at least I've experienced, is like, when you start out lifting and you start seeing some gains and you feel super good, you buy some new clothes, you show a little bit more skin, and you've got this ego and you're like, man, I look good as fuck, I'm getting big as fuck. And then a year later, 20 pounds later, you look back at who you were the previous year and there's almost an embarrassment. Like, oh shit, I was so tiny back then and I was so cocky. And if you're anything like that, if you're anything like me, that puts you in a perpetual state where you're always kind of feeling like, man, maybe I shouldn't be too proud because I don't want to be the old me, that thought I was big at this weight only to find out that I really wasn't that big. So how do you ever know, I guess, when you've arrived? It's like one of the craziest pictures I ever saw was a picture at the last Olympia. I think it was the last year's Olympia. And it's a picture of Chris Bumstead standing kind of catty corner to Big Ramy. And Bumstead is a fucking giant, man. Like, this guy has one of the most phenomenal physiques the world has ever seen. I love the guy to death. He's amazing looking. But at this angle to Ramy made him look almost like a child. I mean, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean? Like, Ramy just looks so much bigger. If you take Bumstead by himself in any picture, you'd say, this guy is a fucking giant. And then you stick Ramy next to him and you're like, fuck. And so it's like, you could be 2-time, 3-time Mr. Classic Physique Olympia and still have room for fucking insecurity. And that's just a travesty of what we do. Love to hear your views in the comment section. Do you ever get to the point where you feel like enough is enough? Do you ever get to the point where you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're comparing yourself to other people, and you're like, fuck it, I can hold my own. I feel good about where I am. I have no shame. I'm secure in my physique. You know, does that ever happen for any of you guys? Or, you know, is it just me? Or is that just, you know, the way it is with bodybuilding? Love to see your feedback in this section below, and we'll see you next time.